Hi guys, today I am going to show you how to use VLOOKUPs in Excel. VLOOKUP is one of the most powerful and popular function in Microsoft Excel. It is a really good function in my toolbox that I use all the time. So what exactly is VLOOKUP? VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup. It allows you to look up information in a vertical list. Let me explain it with a simple example. So here is a list of employees. In the first column, you have got employee IDs, which are 51, 52, 53, and so on. And then there are names of these employees. And the range of data is from A2 to B10. So if you know the employee ID, say for example 56, you can use VLOOKUP function to return the name of that employee, which will be Nick Brown in this case. So in the simplest form, this is how a VLOOKUP function works. So first value will be the lookup value. So what you want to look up is 56. So if you see here in our list, so we want to look up employee ID 56. Where you want to look for is the range A2 to B10, which is from A2 to B10, and the column number in the range containing the value to return. So basically in this range, which column number we want to return. So column A is column number 1, column B is column number 2. So what we want to do is look up value 56 in this range A2 to B10 and return the second column value, which will be Nick Brown in this case. And the last parameter is either true or false, which returns either an approximation or an exact match. So in our case, we are providing this value as false, so that means we want an exact match. So let me show you how we can use this formula. So in here, if I type equal to VLOOKUP and just click on the function, so it will give me some hints here. So what value we are trying to look up is 56. If I say comma here, and then what's the table array, which is actually the range. So if I select this value A2 to B10, put comma there, which column index we want to return. So we want to look up value 56 and want to return corresponding value in column 2. So type 2 here, comma here, and then value false, which is the exact match. If I close the bracket now, press enter, see it looked up value 56 in this table and pick up the corresponding value, which is Nick Brown. Okay, so here what we have done is we have given a fixed value, which is 56 of the employee ID. I will show you a way how can we pick this value from a column or a cell. For example, if my value is say 56 here, and I just Control C here, press escape, click on here, click on there, Control V, and now it is looking up value 56. So if I just make it A15, now it still picks up value Nick Brown, which is corresponding to the employee ID 56. So if I change the value now, say 52, it will pick up Steve Webb, which is employee ID 52. So if I go to 58, it will now return Glenn Smith. So that's the corresponding name. So this is a very basic level of VLOOKUP function. So what if we had another column in this table? So let me quickly unhide this one. So we have got another column, department. So if I now want to return the department of employee instead of the name, so how would I do it? So if I just copy the same formula again, let me copy this one because it has got a variable reference. If I do a control V here, so now what it is doing is it is looking for value A15, which is ID this one, from range A2 to B10, A2 to B10, which is wrong actually. What we want is we want to include department as well. So I'm gonna drag it so it shows range from A2 to C10. And what I want is this time our column has changed. So this is column number 1, this is column number 2, this is column number 3. So I want to return the third column value. If I press enter, it shows support, which is correct. So if I change it to say 53 now, that's Barbara Wilson and in payroll. Let me show you now how we can copy cells which contain VLOOKUP formulas. Let us assume we have got another list with the same employee IDs in column E. So let me just quickly unhide this. So here we have got another list where we have got employee IDs. What we want to do is we want to look up this table and put those values in here, column F for the names. So the way we will do is if we go there, copy the formula, press escape, click here, control V. So now what we want is this is column E2. So we want to look up the value in column E2 and the range should be A2 to B10, which is fine because we're just looking up the name, and the return value should be 2, which is column number 2, and value false, we want exact match. So if I press enter here, it will pick up the right value, Bob Miller. So if I just drag this column here, okay, it will pick up the right values which correspond to the ID, employee ID. But if you click on any one of these values and click on the formula, it is referencing the wrong table. Although the values displayed here are correct, but it is showing the wrong table. What is happening is all these values, the range values are changed because we dragged the formula from one cell to the rest of the cells. If you want to maintain the original cell reference, you make the cell reference absolute by preceding the columns A and B with a dollar sign. So let me show you how you would do it. Put a dollar sign at the both ends of column A and column B and press enter. Now if I drag the formula down, until employee ID 58. It still picks up the right names, and if you click on the cell and the formula, it picks up the right range this time. If I just press escape and go to any other cell, and it is pointing to the right range. So let us see how we do it for the department column. So if I just copy this formula, Control C, press escape, click here, Control V. So it is picking up the right cell E2. It's picking up the wrong range because we want to include until C column. So we just type C here, and this time we want to return the value in the third column. So first column, second column, third column, and we want the exact match. So if I just press enter, drag it there, so they all match. Now in this case, our lookup values and the data is in the same sheet. So what if we are in a different sheet and need to reference the lookup data from another sheet? Let us see how we can do it. Let me go to another sheet. So I've got similar employee IDs here. I want to pick the lookup data from sheet 1. So what I will do is I will click on here, equal to VLOOKUP, click on here. Now the lookup value we are looking for is column D2, comma. Now we want to specify the table array or the range. So if I just click here and select these values, see how it has picked up sheet 1 sign of exclamation A2 to C10. So now if I type comma here, what we want is column index, which is the second, and if I type comma here and if I put false for the exact match, bracket close, press the enter key, it has picked up now the data from sheet 1. Okay, as we did before, we need to put $sign before and after A and C column so that it uses the absolute reference. If I press enter here, drag it, so this time it has again picked up the right values. So in order to do the same for department column, if I copy the formula, press escape, click here, click in the function bar, Control V. This time we want column 3, press enter and drag the formula down up to row 10, and here are the values. Okay, now there is another case. What if we are in a different Excel file and need to reference the lookup data from the another file? Okay, so if I click on sheet 1, this is our master file where the lookup data is. So I have got another temporary file which I created. Let me quickly arrange the files. If I say all tiled, so this is one Excel sheet and we want to look up data from the another Excel sheet. Okay, the logic is same. What we need to do is again type equal to VLOOKUP, click on the function. Now it asks for the lookup value, click on the lookup value for this particular cell. type comma, it's asking for table array, which is the range. So just go to the another Excel, select the values, and as you can see, it automatically picked up the Excel name and the sheet name. Now if you type comma and you specify the column number, which is name 2, and comma and false for the exact match, bracket close, press the enter key, and you can see it has picked up the right value. So if now drag the formula, it is showing the right values. One thing to notice that is, if you are referencing from another Excel sheet, it automatically puts a dollar sign for the absolute cell reference. So you don't need to do it manually this time. So it has picked up the right cell. So only variation here is the first value, which is a lookup value. If you notice the change here as I'm clicking on different cells. So this is how we can use a very helpful function VLOOKUP in Excel. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't done already, please subscribe, share and like the video. Good luck with your lookups. Please do let me know in the comments if you face any issues.